It's a very good job you're cute because you're very in the way, Ruben. Just... Can you be any more in the way? Hey guys, it's Kaz here, and today I'm going to Oslo. I mean, technically not really, it's actually tomorrow, but I have to get the train to the airport today, and then tomorrow morning I'm going to Oslo. So here's my intro. I'm going to take you guys with me. Hopefully I'll do loads of filmings and I'll actually make a vlog, because like 2 or 3 times I've gone on a holiday and filmed clips and then never actually made anything of them, so hopefully this one actually will work. So along with this film camera, I'm going to take my proper camera as well. Here it is. I've got this tiny little 40mm lens, which I specifically bought for travel because it's a lot easier carrying around something this heavy than a camera with a massive lens on. And also I feel like you're more likely to actually pick it up, take it out of the bag when it's light and small like this. When I've got a massive camera lens on a camera, I'm more likely to just leave it in the bag because it's a lot of effort, can't be arsed. And then also I'm taking 3 books with me, just random ones I've picked up. Well, I've purposefully leant towards ones that I think are not going to be crazy hard to read, because it's stuff that I'm going to be reading while I'm sat waiting for several hours at the airport and that sort of thing, so I don't want any heavy reading. I have Where the World Ends by Geraldine McCarran. No idea what this is about. I got it because the cover looks cool, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be an effort to read. I also have Borough Hills by Julia Lynn Rubin. This one is some sort of contemporary LGBT. It's quite small, it's going to be pretty easy to read. And then I also have The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton, which is a modern classic, which is, you know, not really massively keen on classics, but this seems like something that I would like, even though I don't actually really know much about it. But it is on my 2022 TBR as well, so taking 3 books, hopefully that isn't bad. Taking 3 because I feel like if I take 1 and then run out and still have several hours to sit about, it'll be really annoying. But I'm also taking my Kindle and I've downloaded several TV shows and a few films, episodes of shows, films, just for something chill, because like I said, I'm going to the airport tonight, but my flight is tomorrow at like 9 o'clock in the morning. 9? Something like that anyway. But I just can't be asked to go and buy a night somewhere that's going to cost loads of money and then be there for like 6 hours, because it's just, it feels like a waste of money. Because I'm going to get into London, well, into Stansted early morning anyway, I think, or maybe late night. But anyway, and then there's going to be not that many hours, and then obviously you have to do all the checking in and stuff, so it feels like a waste of money buying somewhere to sleep. So I'm just going to be sat in the airport reading and watching stuff. So yes, fingers crossed this is a decent vlog. Fingers crossed that I have a good time. I'm going to, it's Norway. Also, this is fun because I'm stood quite close to it. Let's go over here, look. You can see it there. The 29th of the 5th, 2018 was the last time I was in Norway. So it's almost exactly 4 years since I've been. It's a bit earlier in May this time, but that's crazy. Definitely a long time coming. So yeah. Okay, I feel so weird vlogging in public, but I'm at Stansted Airport, I'm in the toilet, hopefully no one walks in while I'm doing this. But I've got quite a few hours to wait, so I'm gonna go find somewhere to sit, eat some food, watch the last episode of I Could Murder a Podcast, and then go from there. Also, I felt weird bringing 3 books along, but I'm already over halfway through The Outsiders, so it was a good idea to bring 3, because I've not even left the country yet. So yeah. Turns out the free Wi-Fi in the airport meant I couldn't watch YouTube, so I just watched a couple of downloaded videos on my Kindle. Found the quiet seating area, which is nice because a lot of people hadn't found it, so it was pretty empty. finally here, and I'm actually stood in front of a window, so I'm going to move a little bit because I feel silly. So I'm here, I'm actually filming on my proper camera instead of my phone, which is what the clips have been so far. But I'm in my Airbnb, I've got all my stuff down. I'm just going to go out into the world, into Oslo, and just enjoy my first day. Not going to do a lot today, I don't think, because getting here and sorting stuff out, didn't know how long it would take. I'll tell you what I'm not going to do though, take some great photos, because look at this. It's not that it's wet or gloomy, look how white the sky is. You can't take any good photos with sky that's just completely white. But maybe I'll take some close-up stuff. Oh, side note, look how cool these are. Let's zoom in. Some proper old school Norwegian looking houses around here. So that's cool. Look at them. And then there's another one here that looks really cool. But yeah, I'm gonna head out now. I'll take you with me. There are so many cool looking ships here, it's amazing. Look at this. How is that real? I've not even done anything yet other than walk up the pier and look at ships. It's my brand. It's a proper ship, it's even got a woman at the front. Look at her. I swear there's always a bird up there. I came back a little bit early today. To be fair, it's 9 o'clock now, but I have got food. I'm gonna finally watch I Could Murder a podcast because it wouldn't work when I was in the airport. And I've done 17,500 steps. 17,500 steps. Which means I've done way more than that because this is always wrong. But yeah, my feet need a rest. Because I've got loads to do in the next few days. I'm going to be doing loads of walking, so I thought I should stop walking today. Didn't really get much done today. But to be fair, didn't really have much on my list because I didn't know how long it would take to get here and sort stuff out on trains, and you can never trust airports and stuff. But it was really quick and easy to get here. The only thing I had on my list was to go to the Vigeland Sculpture Park, but the sky was white, what's the point? I wanted to take pictures there, they would have looked terrible, so I didn't go. But took some pictures of the barcode buildings. Here is the area of Oslo where every single building looks so different and weird and cool. So I'm trying out some architecture shots. Went to the library, had a wander about. It's probably all Norwegian, but libraries are pretty. books exist. Oh, it's a lot warmer in here than it was outside. So many floors. Took loads of photos, looked at ships for a long time, and yeah, pretty much it. So I'm about to eat and watch this, and then see you tomorrow, I guess. Also, just remembered that I haven't really said anything today. I read The Outsiders all at the airport and also watched 2 films, so I'm glad I brought 3 books because this one's already been read before I even got out of the country. I watched Moxie and Metal Lords, both were very good, very much enjoyed them, so yeah. Now that's more like it, that's what we like to see. So it's the next day and the sun is out. It looks like it's going to be a lot better, so I think I might actually start the day going to the Vigeland Sculpture Park and then get that out of the way because I didn't do it yesterday, and then I have a list of things I want to do today. So today I'm going to go to the Fram Museum, which is the whole reason I enjoy Polar Expedition, is because I went to the Fram Museum, so I'm going to go there again. And then I'm going to go to the Maritime Museum as well, which is right next to it, which I've never been to for no reason before. Don't know why, it's literally right next door. Then we're going to do the island hopping today. I think I pointed that out yesterday with the islands. And then hopefully go to Eckerberg Parken as well, which is a sculpture park. Oh, and also I have to go to the bank because the money I have, which I have from the last time I came here before the pandemic, yeah, it turns out they've changed 2 of the notes I have, so I have to go to the bank and try and get them to give me the proper ones because it's like £105 that I have that it's the wrong notes. So yeah, I went to the shop yesterday and found that out, so I need to do that today. But first, Vigeland Sculpture Park. Oh yeah, also totally forgot, yesterday I was going to do this but I was too tired. I have some hacks for you. Maybe there'll be some more in the future of the video, but hack number 1, when you get to the airport, there's 2 different types of trains you can get into Oslo. One of them is, I think it's called the Fly By Me. It's the fast one, it's the main one, like that takes you straight from the airport to Oslo. And then there's just a normal train ticket to Oslo. Get the normal one because it's about half the price of the Fly By Me one, and you can use it for 2.5 hours, I think it is, on anything else, any other public transport in the city. So it's not just a one-time use, so get that one. Hack number 1. Hack number 2, bring a water bottle because it's pretty expensive. I'm sure anybody that's ever looked into coming to Oslo or Norway in general know it's expensive. Bring a water bottle, bring some water. It's going to be a lot cheaper than trying to buy drinks in town. I also brought one of these little squeezy bottles because I'm not really a massive fan of just drinking water on its own. So I've got one of these juice things to put in it. But yeah, there are 2 hacks and maybe there'll be more in the future. Oh, I guess hack number 3, go to the supermarket. If you want to buy food, go to the supermarket rather than like a convenience store. 7-Eleven, don't go there, that's like a convenience store because it's convenient, it's going to be more expensive. The cheapest 2 are Rima 1000 and Kiwi. Go to one of them. They're still expensive, don't get me wrong. I went to one yesterday. Oh my days, some of it's mental. It's like £8 for 2 parsnips. I just remember that one. It was absolute madness. But other things are not too bad. It's a little bit more expensive than stuff from England, but it's not crazy expensive. But then you see that and it's like £2 for a lettuce. For some reason, the veg is really expensive. Don't know why. It's strange. But yeah, go to a supermarket to get food. On the way to the Vigeland Sculpture Park. Stopped off in this graveyard. Well, I had to go through it. Here's a big old building. It's really peaceful. Let me show you the better view of that building. So the Vigeland Sculpture Park is the biggest park created by one specific artist. am. There's that. This one's me on the Libra. One thing that's quite strange, which I googled and then figured out why, is I love all of the water features and fountains and things like that in Oslo, but I noticed that they were all turned off. So I googled it thinking maybe it was still winter, maybe they turn it off at winter. Turns out Oslo is in a water shortage, which is mad because it's right on the sea, but drinking water shortage. So they've turned off all of the fountains and stuff as a courtesy to show that they're stopping using water as well, even though it's not drinking water in the fountain. But yeah, that's meant to be a fountain. But I thought that was random. It's midday and the sun has officially arrived. I did put sun cream on this morning though, because I knew that this might happen. We're coming up to one of my favourite sculptures in this whole park. He's right there, I can see him. This is like a little bridge thing over a lake, a river, I don't know, is it the actual river? It might be a lake. Over some water, and it's got loads of peeps on it. And oh look, there's another bird on top of that tall one, that never happens. There he is. Here he is, sports fans, get ready. Boom. This guy here, I don't know what he's doing, looks like he's fighting kids. Is he having fun with kids? Is he playing with the kids? This is my favourite, just because it's so stupid. And then this little guy here, I don't know if you can tell, but his head is a different colour because people like to stroke it. I've never touched it before though. Very shiny and soft. Angry baby, who is for some reason the most famous one here. Turns out the ocean breeze absolutely fucked my audio, so here is the Fram Museum. It was built around the ship, which is why it's a triangle. Across the way is the Maritime Museum, and then it's right next to the ocean. And then over there are the islands. This is the joys of holidaying right next to the ocean. This hair. It's good. Look, here's a sculpture of the South Pole expedition that Amundsen did. There's a nice fun fact for you. The Fram boat is still the only boat that's gone the furthest north and the furthest south. Still got that record, and it happened in the early 1900s. Well, the north one, I believe, happened in the late 1800s, and that was Nansen, and then Amundsen went south. And here's the sculpture. And here Fram is in all her glory. And you can go inside, so we're going to do that. Nansen did this. Not only could he go on the water, do all the politics, he could flip in draw as well. How rude. As someone who loves photography, I absolutely love this part of the museum. It wasn't here last time I was here, but I find it so fascinating to look at photos that were taken in the late 1800s and how clear and just beautiful they are. Absolutely wonderful. So hopefully you guys enjoy this as well, because here's just a few of the pictures that were there that are absolutely stunning. So yeah. You see all these biscuits? This is the reason Amundsen and his men survived and Scots didn't. Because they actually packed enough food, and they packed it well, and they had proper rations. So yeah. I was going to head up to the ship, but loads of people just arrived and went straight there, so I'm going to wait for a little bit before I go in, because it is packed up there. Look how big this portrait of Nansen is. It's massive, you can't even see his face. That's my hand in comparison. This is kind of cool. There's photos of how they built the museum around the boat. This is a really cool, literally, bit of the museum. So you go in here and it's freaking freezing in here. It was really nice when I came into summer when it was the hottest day on record. But it's probably going to be really cold today. And the boat starts moving. Oh, spooky. Spooky, spooky, spooky. Spooky. Through here. I can hear people coming in. And we're out. Oh, it feels so much warmer out here now. Look how cool this mini is. I think this is the original kayak that they used. And if you've ever wondered how big polar bears actually are, quite big. I'm currently sat on the floor because it's absolutely packed inside. I think there's some walking tours on. But I'm enjoying all the cool screens at the moment. Just started kicking off. We're in the Atlantic now. I don't know if this is going to be boring for people, but if it is, soz. But here we are inside Fram. So you get to see all the different bits, you get to see where the kitchen is, you get to see the engine, and Up ahead is where some of the individual bunks were. So some of them you can't get in, like the one here that has Free Jeff Nansen in it. And then there are a few that you can go in and have a look around. So that's really interesting and really different. It's cool as well because when you're in the boat, there's all these different ambient sounds. So there's loads of sounds of chatter, as if you can hear all of the guys just chatting about. And there's also loads of dogs barking in the background because they did have a bunch of dogs to obviously help pull the sleighs and stuff. Sleighs? It's not Christmas, a sledge. To pull the sledges, they had dogs. So you hear loads of dogs barking in the background as well. There's some interesting things in there. For example, this was to see if you can make the boat be the right weight so it doesn't capsize. Also a bunch of bits that I didn't show because I thought it wouldn't be very interesting to look visually. So there's examples of, there's a bit where you smell the thing and then you touch the thing and you have to guess what the thing is. There are other bits and pieces where it asks a question and then underneath little doors is the answer. And yeah, it's just really cool and really interesting for me personally anyway. I don't know if other people agree or not, but yeah, hopefully you enjoy this look inside Fram, and it's really cool personally. I cut out a bunch of stuff, but here we are at the end of the road. It's not a road, it's a boat. But out the boat. I accidentally just bought loads of books about polar expeditions. Now it's time for the maritime. I've only got about an hour and a half though because I spent too long looking at books. Whoops. I swear the steering wheel is bigger than me. Now this is the oldest boat found in Norway. 2,200 years old. Dating has shown. Vikings, all that good stuff. And they built a replica and tested it out and it worked on the water. So apparently this is what the lens of a lighthouse looks like. Interesting. So this is the biggest model boat I've ever seen. Found a lovely little place to have a sit down in. This is such a nice bit because it's all blocked off. You got this big thing here. It's blocked off by these sails, and then you come around here. Oh, most perfect sitting piece ever. And I have just been sat here for a little while, but look at that. Absolutely stunning. Look at this, it's so pretty. It's a case decorated with shells that were brought as souvenirs. Look at it. And then stuff like this will never not look cool. Look at this, which is quite clearly a pufferfish. Hedgehog fish. Has that been lost in translation, perhaps? Unless there is a hedgehog fish, but I'm pretty sure that's a pufferfish. Look, another random thing covered in shells that looks cool. I don't know how this drifted ashore, but it said that this drifted ashore and it would have been in the 1800s. It's like a full building. It's way too dark in here to see anything. But these are the places where people would have slept and ate and talked and lived on a small ship. Absolute madness. Obviously it's been restored a bit, but how could something like this drift ashore? This is probably meant for kids, but I'm a kid, so I don't care. I like museums where you can go in places. Ooh, let's hang out at the bar. Queen of the Congo. Tripping over stuff. Everything's so dark now. So this is showing stuff that you can find in the rivers, in the sea, discarded. This is human traces. And we're at 1900 here. And then we carry on a bit. And we're about to get to 2000. And yeah, you can guess. A whole cascade of plastic rubbish. And now we have a gallery full of pictures of the sea, the best kind. If you ignore how American this is, the sea looks so good. So just finished in the Maritime Museum. There's not many people about at the moment, so I'm not too bothered about vlogging. It's still weird anyway. But yeah, it was really good. I feel like I could definitely go back in there again because I didn't really read a lot of the things in there because I didn't have much time. To be fair, I came out with still like 20 minutes of it being open, but I had a look around. It was really good. The only problem, which is not really a problem, is I've bought all of these books and I'm going to have to carry them for the rest of the day because I can't be asked to go all the way back to the Airbnb. But yeah, I'm sure you can hear this in the background. The lovely water. This is just a nice little bit next to the museum, so the museum's over there. Oh look, do you see that bit over there? Let me just zoom in again. See the little bit sticking out? That's where I was earlier, when I recorded a little bit of a video in there. That was really nice. But yeah, now I'm going to go back to, well, I don't know what time stuff's at, but I think if I can, I'll get the ferry back to the pier, and then from the pier over to the islands. We shall see. Depending on the time, I might get the bus back to the pier, but it's quicker to get the island ferry, so let's go see if that's there soon. These are so cute. Last time I came here, they would eat out of your hand. They're like Norway's pests, but they're way better than pigeons. By like 2 minutes, and they're only every hour, so I'm just gonna have a wander for a bit, make sure I don't miss the next one. I actually saw it sat there while I was on the boat I was already on, and I thought, I'm not gonna get off this boat and onto that boat quick enough, and I was correct, so let's go for a wander. It's one of them cute birds, and I just opened some crisps. Babe. That's so cute. Hi, bro. But I've got a bit of crisp on here. They're so cute. They're so much better than pigeons. So it started raining again. But it's only a little bit. I think it's already stopped now. But I'm just sat here now near the Astrup Fearnley Museum, which is an art gallery. Just chilling, waiting for the next boat. I debated going back to Airbnb, dropping my stuff off because I don't want my books to get wet, to be honest. But then I thought, you know what, it's not going to last long. Last time it rained, it lasted about 10 seconds. And yeah, if we look over there, it's blue skies again, so that definitely was not necessary. Although I have put my bag under my jumper because I don't want them to get wet. But yeah, this is pretty. I just also saw a fight over there between loads of seagulls. Well, I say a fight. There was a crow and it had some sort of bit of food, and like about 10 seagulls came and tried to tuck it off him. So he just flew over to that tree, and then they all couldn't find him because they're all idiots. So the crow wins, of course. Didn't get all that on film though, sorry. I know that's the content you're after. Crow versus seagulls. I don't know if you can tell from here, but it looks like the dark sky is going over the city bit. But then it's quite blue over there, over the island, so hopefully it's going to be alright. It's spitting a tiny little bit again. But that's fine. But you're so bored of my updates. My updates are just boats and it's raining. I'm so boring, I'm so sorry. Here's a randomly cool sculpture of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And there's me, all the way over there. Hi. And there's the dwarves again. Has anyone been counting? Because there's another one. In our way. So, fun fact, I actually missed the stop for Hoverdoya because I was explaining to somebody what time all the boats were on because I'm a nice person. But, to be fair, that's the only island that I've actually been to before, so I'm now on Lindoya. The thing about the boats though, they only come every hour, so I need to get cracking because I've never been here before, so I don't know how big it is. It's so quaint and picturesque here. It would be amazing to live on here, but also horrible because you have to rely on the boats. But also amazing, kind of how quiet and nice and peaceful and not a city it is. Look at how peaceful and how cool these houses are. Why can't I have a yellow or a green or a red house? Just listen to the trees. So it's about 7:10. I've decided that I'm going to save the rest of the islands for tomorrow because the only thing I've got penciled in is the King Olaf's Trail, which is a few hours long. And because I have to stay on each island for an hour and it's like 7:10, I figure, you know what, I can't be bothered to do that. The sunset is about 20 to 10, so like technically I could stay out and it wouldn't even feel like night time, but yeah, don't think I'm bothered. I'm just gonna have a nice little cruise along on the ferry. It's going to drop off, this is the second island, it's going to drop off all the rest of them and then back to mainland Oslo. So I'm just going to have a sit down, which is going to be nice. Sit down on the boat for a while. Yes. Good times. Oh, even with the sun behind a cloud, the sea still looks amazing. I love how easy the people that drive this boat just yeet it round. They probably just chuck it in the water and it goes exactly where they want it to go. It's brilliant. So it's about 9:15. I'm back. Just made some food. Nice. And my legs ache so bad. My watch says I've done less steps than I did yesterday, which makes no sense, but it's always wrong. And when you're walking around really slowly, like for example in museums, watches never actually count the steps because you walk too slowly. So yes, my legs ache. Okay, first of all, a few more pro tips. I mentioned buying stuff from a proper shop instead of a convenience store. Here's another pro tip: bring snacks. So I brought my own rice with me because it's like 39p for a microwavable rice in England, so there's no point in not bringing them. So that's the staple sorted, and then I just got some, well, yesterday I had chicken nuggets. Side note, probably the nicest chicken nuggets I've ever had. Proper chunky, proper chickeny. Today I've got scampi, and tomorrow I've got chicken wings. And then I've left one day off so I can like grab a takeaway of some sort. But yeah, also with the snacking, so I take my own drink with me, but I also take some crisps just out and about, and I have a little bag of biscuits just to nibble on while I'm out and about, so you're not spending the money trying to get snacks because they're going to be expensive. Another pro tip: transport in Oslo is brilliant. You've got your trains, you've got your trams, you've got your buses, you've got your ferries. You're going to be able to get wherever you need to get from wherever you are. You might have to walk 5-10 minutes, but there'll be a bus or a tram or a train or whatever within the next 5 minutes. Side note, I've been to Oslo 3 times and I've never had anyone check for a ticket on a tram or a bus. Just saying. Obviously, if you don't have one and you do get checked, you will get fined, but just putting it out there. I've never seen anybody checking tickets. Just saying. But yeah, other than that, I'm gonna eat my food. I'm gonna probably watch a bit of YouTube. I read a chapter of my book while I was waiting for the food to cook. So all in all, good time. Again, my legs are aching so bad. But yes, I'm gonna chill out now, sit down for a bit. And, oh, shall I show you my haul? I'll show you my haul. So yeah, I accidentally picked up 4 books at the Fram Museum. Whoops. Hear me out, right? This is Farthest North by Fridtjof Nansen. I looked on Amazon and eBay and it's more expensive on Amazon. On eBay, a second-hand copy was about £1 cheaper than this brand spanking new one. So, you know, buy this and support Fram and get it new. And I was pretty surprised, to be honest, because normally in museums and stuff's more expensive, but got Fridtjof Nansen's book for cheap. Talking of Fridtjof Nansen though, there was this massive, very heavy, very big photography book and I really wanted it, and if I had actually gone and changed my money, I would have bought it, and I think I might go back and buy it. It's massive, it's going to be really heavy, I'm going to have to try and sneak it through security so I don't have an extra baggage thing, but I really want it. And yeah, like I just said, I haven't changed the money yet because I went straight to Vigeland Sculpture Park, straight there to the Fram Museum and the Maritime, and I googled it and the banks all close at like 3 and 4 o'clock. So tomorrow, the only thing I've got penciled in is the King Olav Trail, and you have to go to the centre of Oslo and then get like a train or something there. So before I get that train or tram or whatever it is, I'm going to change them bloody notes. I've got £105 I can't spend, and it's practically free money because I got this money like 3 or 4 years ago, so it doesn't even count as me getting the money really. So it's like I've got £105 for free. Technically, I paid for it, but ages ago, so for free. I want to spend it on a massive Free Jeff Nansen book. It's not £105, but yeah. Moving on. I also got this one, which is the Roald Amundsen's Diaries, the South Pole Expedition. It's exactly what it says on the tin. It's Roald Amundsen's diary, so it's just every day what he wrote about the South Pole Expedition. And this one was on offer. 75 krona, which is like £7.50. And then I got 2 more books because they're on offer. So I have this one, which is Roald Amundsen and then Exploration of the Northwest Passage. These were both 20 krona, so about £2. And just a really little book about the Northwest Passage. And then this one, which is Arctic Pioneers, The Voyage of the Belgica, 1897 to 99. And I've not really read much about Belgica. I think it's the one that's going to be Madness at the End of Earth, or whatever that book's called, that I'm reading this month because they got scurvy and I went mad. I think it was that one. So yeah, I've got another book about it, which is fun. There's probably going to be about more than just going mad. But yeah, I'm going to shut up now because my food's going to go cold. I'm really hungry. And yeah, see you later. So it's day 3. Oh, also, I've bought multiple versions of the same shirt, so it's going to look like every day is the same, but it's not. But yeah, today I'm doing the King Olav's trail walk thing. Can't remember the exact name of it. My legs still ache a bit, not gonna lie, but I'm just gonna take it slow and steady and have a nice walk today. Oh, I think I didn't say yesterday, I had a fun little interaction in the Fram Museum with one of the workers. So when I went in and paid for my thing, the woman handed me some sort of flyer or something. She was like, oh, here's some information about the museum. And I was like, it's fine, I've been here twice before, I've read the book on Amundsen, I've read the book on Nansen, don't worry about it, you know, just in passing. And then after I'd been around the museum and come back down to the gift area, what's it called? Gifts, prizes, shop, the shop area. This other guy that worked there came over and he was like, I heard you earlier when you came in and I just wanted to ask you a question. What do you think about Captain Scott and were you taught about him in school? Well, first he asked me where I was from and I said England. And then obviously you guys know, if you saw that wrap up, about my feelings on Captain Scott, how I think he was really terrible at doing his expedition and was really silly in the way he didn't actually use anything that worked. He didn't use dogs, he used ponies, and he didn't put enough food out, blah blah blah. They died in a tent. So yeah, obviously I told this guy that I thought he was very silly. But yeah, it was interesting because we was talking about it, how in history in England they take out the bits of Captain Scott's diary and Captain Scott where he said stuff that shows that he was bad at what he was doing, and they portray him as a hero. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. It was cool that the random dude came over and we had a little chat about polar expeditions and about Captain Scott. And then when I was buying my books, he was like, oh, do you like Shackleton as well? I was like, yes, Shackleton's really cool. And then he was telling me about the Shackleton Museum in Ireland and how they do all this cool stuff. So yeah, that was interesting. Normally I'm not really a talky person, but someone came over to me, we talked about polar expeditions, it was very good. And then I said to him, coming to the Fram Museum in 2017 was the reason that I got into polar expeditions in the first place. So he was very happy about that. So yeah, it was a good time. I got to talk about some polar expeditions. But yeah, I'm gonna grab some snacks together, I'm gonna go to the bank first, and then we're gonna go and look at some nice pretty stuff. This is where we've come to on the train. When looking at the map, I thought Rose Castle was a lot further away from the train station, but it was literally right across the road. So this is an art installation and it's all about World War II, which is not normally something that I would specifically go and look at, because I don't really care for the World War One and Two because it was pretty much the only thing we learned at school. But this was so interesting. It's all about individuals and their individual stories. And I hope you'll pause each time it shows some words, because they're so interesting and I can only show a few of them. But there are absolutely tons of these portraits. And then in the centre there was loads more artworks. There was obviously the big golden sculptures you see. And it was just really interesting and also great to just see great art as well. So enjoy. These stairs are so scary. They're completely solid but they're see-through, so it's scary. I love how there's a car park just over there, but then straight away you're in nature. Okay, so there's the trail. I've just come down here because look, it's so gorgeous. You see here, over here it looks quite similar, right? Yeah, I walked this way, very wet, my shoes got stuck in the water, my shoes came off, my feet are both wet. The other Norwegian person ran around this way and up on the dry bit. There are my shoes covered in water. Oh well, we'll live and learn. It's quite nice actually, it's cooled my feet down, but yes, lovely. Maybe I should have gone the proper path after all, but that would have been boring, and like genuinely my feet feel nicer now than they did before they were wet, so I'm just holding my shoes at the moment. I'm just dealing with this wet bit until I get to the proper path, and then I'll put my shoes back on. Oh, it feels nice and free. Definitely drier, but also rockier. The only way is up because I'm going to the vantage point. Hope it's pretty. I was lying earlier when I said the only way is up. There's also lots of downs and then ups and then downs and then ups. I don't think this is actually the viewpoint, but I found a bit that's kind of viewy. Down there's the trail. I came up here and then you can probably hear the wind because we're so high. Got the last few steps and then we'll be So I got a nice German man to take some photos of me at the top, which I'll insert here. And now we're coming down the opposite side to go to, I can't remember, a different place. Sognsvann, that's where I'm going. We're out of the crazy wood bits and now onto a normal path. I'm not walking over rocks now, which is good. I also had a nice little conversation with the person who took the photo for me on top of the viewpoint. Those two people came down where I was walking and we had a nice little chat. I feel like a proper human being. I've had chats twice. I had that chat and I had the chat in the Fram Museum about polar expeditions, so I feel like I'm winning as a human. Looks like somebody's been having fun in the park. Those are pine cones, by the way, not dog poo. I love how they have an area for you to set fires and barbecues as well. So as you can see, I am back. I did have a little bit of a wander once I got back into town, but I was like, you know what, my legs are knackered. I'm just gonna go back. So I got back here about maybe like 8:15. It's quite early considering, but yeah, I just wanted to chill out for a bit. Obviously you can see I've had a shower. My face is so red and I've just been on the Kindle watching stuff on YouTube for a little bit. But yeah, don't know if I'm actually going to do the walk. So originally I had the hike thing planned for yesterday, but then when I looked at the weather, it was raining a little bit yesterday, so I changed it to today. So I originally had the hike and then a museum thing and then the river walk and then, you know, space them out a bit, but now I didn't. So we'll see how I feel tomorrow, whether I'm actually going to walk down the river, because I have a feeling my legs are going to be really, really bad. I don't know exactly how long I hiked. Where's my phone? But I can certainly have a look. So if you look at my phone, one of the first pictures I took when I started my hike was at 1:15, and then I got to the top of the viewing point at about 3:30, and then we carried on walking, and it was 5:05 when I took my first picture of the Sogvan lake. So that's how long I was hiking for. I need to put this down because my arm's aching. Oh, okay, I've made a little stand. So let me just tell you a nice fun little story about how hard it was for me to change that money. So you know I needed to change my money. I got into Oslo, I searched bank on my Google, and the first one that came up, I thought, hey, that's probably the closest one, it's probably the best one. So I walked to that this morning, and I got there, I was stood in the queue for about 5 minutes, got to the front of the queue, and then saw on the wall that it said, we don't do exchanging money in here. I was like, oh crap. So I asked the guy, and he said, oh yeah, you're probably best to be the Forex, because that's a money exchange one. So I was like, cool. All the way back down Karl Johan Street, pretty much where I came from. So I don't know why it sent me to the other one first, because it's further away. Got there, waited for about 10-15 minutes because the woman in front, they were having problems scanning a passport because they needed to scan that for some reason to exchange money. And then I got to the front and I showed them, I was like, oh, this is old money, I just need to change it to the new one. And they were like, oh well, we take a 20% cut of it. Why don't you go to this other bank? It's Norge's bank. Norge? Anyway, it sounded official, it sounded like the main bank, so I don't know why they didn't just send me their first place Google. And that was in the middle of the other two. So here's the Forex down here. At the top of the Karl Johans is a DNB or something. And then I had to go back up here and across here. And then I went to this bank and I got there and I pulled my money out and I had 1,050 that I had to change. And the guy was like, oh, have you got any ID on you? No. No, I do not. I leave my passport here in the Airbnb so it doesn't get lost, get damaged, you know. Don't want anything to happen to it. It's very important to have a passport. So I didn't have any ID with me. So I was stressed out. I'd been to 3 places. I cried because that's how I handle stress. I cry and then instantly I was like, I'm sorry for crying. I can't help it. I'm just stressed. And then after I started crying and was stressed out and was looking everywhere, he was like, oh yeah, if it's over 1,000 you have to have ID, but if it's under 1,000 then you can do it fine. I was like, you're making me cry and be all confused and be all annoyed about 50, which is about £5. So I exchanged the 1,000, which is £100, and I've still got the old 50. Here's a weird thing though. He said that you can only exchange money at the bank once. How are they gonna know? But just in case they do have some fancy facial recognition, I'm gonna take that 50 and then exchange it at the Forex with my passport. I don't mind them taking 20% of 50. I don't want them to take 20% of 1,000. So yeah, that was my fun story. And that was all before the hike. So that took almost an hour to exchange money. I had to go to 3 different banks. And my watch said I'd done over 5,000 steps before I'd even got on the train to go to the hike. Talking about this stupid watch though, it says I've done like 25,800, which is a lie. Because at one point in the hike, I looked at my watch and it said 9,331. First of all, I knew I'd already done over 5,000 before I got there, so I knew it was wrong. And about 5 minutes later I looked again, it was the same number, so it's a dick. But yeah, my legs can tell I've done many steps. But I have some food in. I should probably update my journal. I wrote stuff for the first day yesterday. I got back and I was pretty tired after I'd ate, so I didn't actually write my yesterday stuff. So I should write that before it goes from the brain and then write down today. And yeah, good times. And also, now I've got that money back, I'm definitely going to Fram tomorrow and getting that massive book that I wanted. Yes, we'll show you that later. So it's the next day, Friday, and today is my river walk slash go to the botanical gardens slash historical museum. I think is the one in the botanical gardens. First, I'm going to the Fram Museum. I'm getting that massive book, and I also want to go to the grassroots square sculpture thing. It's like loads of bajillions of little tiny people on the floor, and I've seen it online, so I think that's going to be cool. That is quite near the palace, so I might even head up the palace a little bit, because I've not even been up Karl Johan Street properly this whole time, so I might head to the palace as well. So yeah, first things first, I'm going to go Fram, see the sculpture, head to the palace probably, and then come back here so I can drop the book off because it's massive and really heavy, and then where I'm staying is right next to the river, so I can go to the river and then go straight down the river from here. So that seems like a plan today. I am feeling it in my legs, but I've had a little wander about. It doesn't feel too bad. I feel like once I get going, they'll ease up a bit. It'll be fine. So yeah, that's the plans for today. I have it. I have the book. I'm not going to pull it out at the moment because it's massive. But get this. The price on it said 598, but it actually came up with 358, which is an absolute steal, because I was going to buy it at the big price and I got it for the cheap price. Actually, let me just... Here she is in all her glory. So after I got my book and got all excited, I came down to where they do the ferries to the main island, and there was one there that was just about to pull away, so I'm just chilling here, looking at some stuff and waiting for the next one because they're pretty regular. So now we're in the Akershus castle. That's probably not how you pronounce it. This is where all the military is. There's a castle, there's a military base over there that you're not allowed in. And the band that was just playing, I think they were practicing for the Norwegian Day, which is on the 17th. And there's also loads of little kids walking with their flags. I panned them really quickly because I don't want to get them on film. But I think they might be practicing as well, which is cool. Side note, look how big this cruise ship is. Okay, by some miracle I've found an area that's quiet and doesn't have any people about, so because I've been here, I stopped off at the castle. Alright, I think I'm gonna head straight to the bus to take this massive Nansen book back to my Airbnb because it's fucking heavy, and maybe go to the palace tomorrow. I'm hoping to get up really early tomorrow and take my case to the train station because they have case locks there, but it's just a case of whether you get there in time or whether they're all going to be full, so I'm going to try and get there pretty early and put my case in there, and then hopefully I won't have to drag it around for the rest of tomorrow because my train is really late. My plane is really late. It's like 11 o'clock at night, so I hope I don't have to carry my case around all day. We shall see. These are getting very aggressive. Alright. Dramatic. We are here at the Natural History Museum. It's really weird because you have to go into this little box here to get your tickets, and then you come out the doors, and then you go in here. And all the doors are closed, so it looks like it's not even open, but it is. This is mad, so it shows you where the animals were originally and then how long since the 1900s until today. And that's how much the cheetahs are dying out. So about half of the exhibitions are actually missing in the Natural History Museum at the moment. There's none of the dinosaur ones, there's none of the geological stuff, and the Tree of Life, which I'm guessing is like skeletons and stuff like that, is all just empty. But then I've read online, I think all the dinosaur stuff and geological stuff's been moved into this one, which just opened last week. Giant sloth. I didn't even know giant sloths existed. And when they say giant, they mean giant. What? How? Look at these little, well, these massive sloth feet. I love how different all the shapes of rocks can be. Like this is really square, and you've got this really weird, like little bobbly one here, and you've got a little stabby one, and then this dude over here, he looks just, look, oh I love him. This one is almost perfect little circles. We're in the botanical gardens now. Got this little robot coming for me. He's definitely coming my way. But anyway, in here there's loads of different gardens. I've just seen the old granny's garden. There's ones from different time periods in different countries, I think. So yeah. It has been raining and it might rain again, so don't know how long I'm going to stay here. Hi. Again, because of the water shortage, this whole thing I believe is meant to be a water feature because there's a big pool over there that's empty and then it comes down here, which is very unfortunate. But it's so pretty in here. Still loads of trees and plants and stuff to look at. Every single plant in here has a little plaque on it to tell you exactly what it is, whether it's a tree or shrubs or flowers or whatever. They've all got it. Well, it's getting earlier and earlier, but I think I might head back to my Airbnb now. I think it's about 6, half 6, something like that. And today I'm going to have a takeaway. I'm going to treat myself to a takeaway. I can't remember what it is, but I know there's one place in the acceptably priced for Oslo list that I had that's quite near where I'm staying, so I'm going to go to there. I can't remember what it is. I think it's Thai or Chinese or something. I'm gonna go get some food. My legs are aching so bad. When I'm walking it's fine, but when I stand still they ache like mad. So when I was looking at all the rocks, because there was a lot of rocks, my legs, my feet were hurting so much. I felt like I was growing roots. So yeah, I'm gonna head back now. So it's about 7:20 and I'm back. No socks on. I love it. My feet are so sad but also so happy that they're not socked right now. So I ended up going to a takeaway / restaurant called, what was it called? Faux May, I think. There was a Chinese restaurant closer to where I am, but I've never tried Vietnamese food, so I thought, you know what, go to the Vietnamese one. Got my chopsticks here. I ordered something to do with rice and shrimp and some chicken stuff, so I'll show you that now. Obviously the menu was in Vietnamese and Norwegian, so I had to do a little bit of a translate on Google. I know some of the words anyway, like I know the word for chicken, and it said scampi for shrimp, so got these chicken things. And then we have, it's gone a bit sideways because it was my bag sideways, but oh, that looks nice. And I'm gonna eat the absolute crap out of this. So before I get stuck in, I'll do the first taste reaction. I hope I don't throw any of this anywhere. Yes. See you in a bit. So it's the next morning and I really need to sort this out. Whoops. I spread myself as far as I can. So yeah. So it's taken me about an hour, but I'll pretty much get everything in bags and stuff. So fingers crossed there's actually a place to put them, or I'm carrying this around all day. So yes, let's head into the city and hopefully at the central station there'll be somewhere for me to put my bag. Success. Oh, that's so much better. Google sent me to a Forex bank. This is what it now is. And the one that I was really close to is open, apparently. All of them said closed on Saturdays. I've just looked again and it's open, so I'm gonna go all the way back. Fun times. So I went to the second Forex bank. It was closed. I don't know why it told me it was open. I was gonna go to the proper bank to do it, but that's also closed. It's Saturday, so I've just got to deal with the fact that 50 NOK, £5, I'm never gonna get back. So I'm just gonna go shopping now. Got about 2 hours until my Oslo pass runs out, and I want to go to the Nobel Peace Centre, 2 hour shop. I'm gonna go to do some art shopping, and yeah, deal with the fact I'm not getting that back. Didn't manage to actually make it all the way up to the palace, but there she is in all of her glory. It's super open and nice. You can go all the way up to the palace and you can go into the gardens, and it's really nice there, so yeah. I've also just noticed, luckily, when I was Google mapping to go to the art shop, that this is right next to 22 of July Centre that I wanted to have a look at, even though it's going to be harrowing. So yeah, let's go there first. Now of course I didn't really film in there because it's not really the type of place you should film in, but there were portraits 10 years on of some of the survivors. I cried when I was reading the timeline, of course. So now on to art supplies, more happy times. Hi, it's editing me, and I thought I should probably give a little bit more context here if you don't know. 22nd of July is an educational and remembrance centre for the attack that happened in Norway on the 22nd of July 2011, where a lot of people were killed in a bomb and then even more people were killed on an island. Look it up if you're not sure. But yeah, they did allow to like use your phone, your cameras, whatever in the place, but it just felt a little bit weird to like film clips about teenagers dying, you know, so that's why I didn't. But yeah, it was really moving. It made me cry, of course. And it had a bunch of different things, like for example, it had some phones from some of the survivors and the people that died on the island, and they were all smashed up and stuff. It also had the fake police ID that Anders Breivik wore to get onto the island to pretend that he was police to help them, and then just like shot loads of people. So yeah, it was a lot, but I'm glad I went and had a look. I'm here! Again, Google had to dick me about, but I'm here!
Just close your eyes for just a moment and imagine the world as it should be.
I have a dream.
Other countries joined it, they used it, but we didn't, even though we made it.
So I booked this fjord sightseeing tour before I went. I thought it'd be a nice thing to do on my last day. I wasn't sure if I would have my case with me or not, so I figured I could possibly take it on a boat with me and it would be a lot easier than dragging something around. But obviously we both know that I didn't have my case with me, but I'm glad. When I got on the boat it was pretty full, so I went right to what I thought was the back. It turns out it was the front, so I was really happy about that. The way it was in the harbour, the pier, the way it was in there, it was in backwards, so it looked like it was the back, and then we pulled out and spun around and I was right at the front, so I was really happy. And it was just really fun. The weather was really nice, it was really sunny. First we went round the edge of the main bit of Oslo, I guess, and then we went out and went around the different fjord islands. There was a sound thing on there with someone talking over it saying like, oh, here we are at blah 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 blah, but I was right at the front of the boat and all I could hear was the wind and the sea, which I'm not mad about, but I caught a few little sounds, but yeah, most of it just did not capture me. But yeah, it was just really nice. As you can see by this water, that is how much you can tell it's loud, can't you? You can tell. But yeah, it was a great time. Really glad I went on this. It was so fun, and then the boat was all rocking. It was good. And yeah, good times. So, if you remember a little bit earlier in the video, there was another guy doing paintings on the street, and I saw him before I went to the Grassroots Square, which was the square with all the little mini figures. Side note, there's 50,000 of them little figures on that square. It's really cool. But anyway, I saw him, and obviously I needed to go to the art shop, I needed to go to the Peace Museum, I needed to go on my boat, and I thought, you know what, if he's still there, when I'm done, I'm going to buy some of the work with the last bit of money that I have. And I did. And when I came back, this guy was also there. So I bought one off each of them. And because they're local, I managed to get rid of my random 50 kroner that's old. I just gave it to one of them and said, look, it's an old one, you need to get it swapped. But here's an extra 2 kroner, so deal with it. And then he did. So that's cool. This is the one that I got off the guy that you just saw. And this one is off the guy from a little bit earlier in the video. And they're both so good. I've always seen this sort of thing on the internet and thought, oh, I would love to see them in real life, and then I'll buy them. And then I did. So, to the one person potentially still watching, that was the end of my trip to Norway. Woo! It was really good. I had a lot of fun. It was an amazing time. I recommend checking out the 2 people that won the Peace Prize last year. Here's the thing, it's handed out in December. And it was handed out to 2 journalists who were all about trying to get the truth, the opposite of fake news, the real stuff out. One's from the Philippines and one's from Russia. So it was very, very current what they were talking about. There was a bit in it about, obviously, Ukraine. The guy that won it from Russia, his publication, obviously, is not out at the moment because it's not allowed. It's illegal now, and you can get 10 years in jail if you put out stuff that's opposite to what they want to push out. So yeah, it was actually really interesting. And other than that, say some words down below if you want to ask me about anything, if you want me to go into detail about anything. I'm sure you're completely over it by now, this hour-and-a-half long vlog, but I had fun, and I'll probably watch this back at some point, and it'll be really fun and reminiscent and great. So yes, comment down below if you like, subscribe if you like, do whatever you like. I'll see you in a bit.